Thanks for joining me as I travel the world, going from fine dining through to street food and local specialties, all in an effort to find the world's best seafood. So folks, tonight we're heading to Paris, Bangkok, a French-styled seafood restaurant in the heart of Bangkok that I'd read about having a fantastic seafood platter, or a couple of different options actually, that I was dying to try out. So I made a booking ages in advance and grabbed a taxi, braved the famous or infamous Bangkok traffic, and finally found it. To be honest, it was on a little back street and it was quite difficult to find, but at the end we did finally get there, and inside the restaurant looks really nice. Checking out the menu, this is what I'm here for: the Solo, the Duo, the Royal, or the Prestige. I went for the Royal. You can see that's pretty big: lobster, French crab, 12 oysters, 8 prawns, 200 grams of the tiny shrimps, whelks and winkle. It started off with some pate and bread. The bread was really nice. They warn that the seafood platter takes 20 minutes to prepare, but they brought by the seafood and I was able to have a little look at it. So that's the crab, and here's the lobster. Not huge, but good to see that they're fresh. Now, I teamed this one up with a bottle of German Riesling. I find that the slightly sweet German Riesling is a perfect match for seafood, especially shellfish. That's one of my two go-to wines when I'm trying something like this kind of a meal. A good 20 minutes passed. I did my best to hold off on the bread, and then it arrived. What a beauty. This seafood platter is really impressive to look at, and in fact, there's 2 of them. Okay, so the food has arrived. It looks great. We got the vinegar type dressing here, the rye bread, a mayonnaise. Let's see what it's flavored with. Slightly citrus. Taking a look, the grey shrimp. The grey shrimp, which I'm really not a fan of. Big prawns. This is one whole French crab, claws there. Here we go, the little thingies. Get the name. More shrimp. And then these 4 are one type of oyster. The 4 big ones are another type, and these are another type. A water poached lobster, and more of the good stuff, and then some winkles hidden in here. So, wish me luck. It's quite funny watching the ice slowly melt as I make my way through this platter. There's a really sped up version of it. I have to say, overall, it was really good. The lobster was a little bit lackluster in flavor. It was really bland. It was perfectly cooked and it was fresh, but it just didn't have much flavor. The shrimps were fine. I don't think they were 100% fresh, but the crab was a standout in this one. It had so much flavor and good orange roe in there as well. The oysters, 2 of the 3 were excellent. The other one was still good. The small snails were great as well. And even the tiny little shrimps, which I'm really not a fan of, were quite fresh here. I still didn't finish them because they're not my favorite, but I did go ahead and order 4 more oysters. This is the second time I'm doing one of these platter challenges, you could call it, although I didn't really find it much of a challenge, where the waiter has come over to either high-five me or tell me that I'm his new hero, so kind of funny. Taking a look at the damage all up, the Royal Platter, extra oysters, bottle of sparkling water, and then the Riesling, plus service charge and VAT. Look, for one person that's a big and expensive meal, but overall I'm really satisfied. So I'm walking to my taxi now. Overall, I gotta say that's a 4-star experience. There were a couple of little letdowns. The lobster had a little bit no flavor. I didn't really like some of the small things, but the price is great. The service was warm. Definitely worth a trip. Subscribe for more seafood adventures. Upcoming are some exotic places like Bhutan, Mongolia, as well as Seoul, New York City and Sydney, Australia.